Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is boy Sam from Art of Trading here, and today we'll be looking into NAKD and the possible targets that Justin Davis Rice may acquire in the upcoming days. I've got a Moo update, there we go. So we're going to be looking at a load of different brands, and we're going to be doing research into it and trying to figure out, could NAKD purchase this brand and could this be a potential acquisition? Now, for anyone who's wondering why I've been away for quite a while, it is because I've had a pretty croaky voice the last couple of days. It's not been pretty. So, I just refrain from, doing YouTube videos, saving my voice and stuff. So, I'm back on it now. I'm hoping that, we can continue the consistency. I am still speaking quite quietly, but, that's just to maintain a level for my voice, so we will get there eventually. So without further ado, let's go on with the video. If you are new to the channel and you're not subscribed already, please remember to smash that like button and subscribe if you're new. It really helps the channel out, and be sure to click that notification bell so you stay up to date with my upcoming content. Before we get into today's video, I just want to say I'm in no way, shape or form a financial advisor, and please take anything I say with a pinch of salt. I'm simply a university student studying business and management, and that is all. Stocks are battlefields. Be sure to do your own research, your own due diligence before entering into the battlefield. I can only scout the battlefield for you, however, I cannot fight the battle for you. With that being said, let's move on. So the first brand which I thought we would bring up in this is Victoria's Secrets. This is a brand which is a brick and mortar operations primarily, and it is one of those brands that, it's a very old fashioned brand, like a sort of a street brand really, and it's not really developed into e-commerce. However, Victoria's Secrets, because it is losing a fair bit of money at the moment, they are trying to revert to e-commerce. There has been reports of this, and I will find them and show them on in a minute, right? But as you can see right here, Mr. Davis Rice himself has had connections with Victoria's Secrets. So Mr. Davis Rice licensed Pleasure State's biofit technology and trademark for what became a 25 million unit royalty agreement, generating in excess of 45 million in free cash flow over 3 years, and Victoria's Secret's biggest brand launch in its history. So that shows that, like our CEO, our Silverback, has connections with Victoria's Secrets. So that is a very, very good sign. And, that could be a very good connection to have, especially considering Victoria's Secrets has just recently announced that they left L Brands, which was their previous like sort of head operating place, because obviously they're a subsidiary under L Brands. So, this primarily could generate some interest from NAKD to bring Victoria's Secrets as a subsidiary to NAKD, which is going to be a fully acquisitions group, which is what Justin said on his Twitter. So this article was published on the 23rd of April 2021, and it's basically talked about L Brands and Victoria's Secrets reportedly back in sale talks targeting higher valuation. So what this is saying is the rough asking price from L Brands. Now, this is an asking price, let's bear in mind. This isn't an official price tag, right? So L Brands is back in sale talk with potential buyers for its Victoria's Secrets lingerie brand, according to a new report where it is seeking possibly more than double the $1.1 billion valuation that it roughly had 1 year ago, which prior deal fell apart. So the fact that the deal fell apart last year indicates that, the company saw through that valuation, and L Brands knows that Victoria's Secrets isn't worth that, and that's why they want to up their prices to leave that negotiation room further down the line in case they did want to sell Victoria's Secrets for more in the future. Now, where does NAKD come in all this? Because we only have $300 million worth of cash, right? So with NAKD, we have to bear in mind that NAKD is currently divesting Bendon. Now, they are going to be removing Bendon as a subsidiary. They do have to give Bendon a slight installment, but they are selling Bendon as a subsidiary, which will generate X amount of cash, right? So the fact that the asking price apparently here is double the $1.1 billion valuation, you have to wonder, what would Bendon be selling for currently? Because could it be possible the likes of L Brands could be negotiating some sort of swap deal with NAKD. You know, NAKD gives L Brands Bendon, and in exchange, L Brands gives NAKD Victoria's Secrets, and obviously NAKD would have to add cash to that deal to make it happen. That could be something that we could look into further down the line. It may sound ridiculous, right, from now, like from a perspective, right? But you never know what the asking price is. We don't even know the proper valuation of Bendon, really. I mean, there are ways to work it out, yes, but you know, the likelihood is Bendon is going to sell for a fairly good amount of money, I would have thought. And, you know, nowhere near Victoria's Secret's mine. And that's why I'm saying they'll need to add that cash probably with the deal to acquire Victoria's Secrets. But if NAKD are able to acquire Victoria's Secrets, their stock price shoots up massively. And it would be a fantastic acquisition, especially for us retail investors, if that was to happen. As a long-term play, do I think Victoria's Secrets is a good brand in general? Potentially, if they are able to utilize their e-commerce side of things, potentially. But in a sense, Victoria's Secrets right now, it is a struggling brand because a lot of their operations are brick and mortar operations, like I suggested at the start of the video. But we are now going to move on to the next brand, which NAKD could potentially merge with. Okay, so as you can see on your screen right now, the next sort of brand which I think NAKD could potentially partner up with is a brand called Third Love. And this is the only page that I could show where YouTube probably won't demonetize me, so leave it out, everyone, leave it out, right? So as you can see here, they have a fully e-commerce functional site. They are already embedded within that e-commerce platform. They are a pretty established company, but they're up and coming. You know, they still have a lot of room for growth, but their business model is currently what NAKD is looking for, right? And Third Love currently, as you can see, the valuation of the company is currently 750 million, and that's after their recent fundraising of 55 million, as you can see here. So their latest funding size was 55 million. So why could this be a good acquisition for NAKD? Now, as we know, NAKD has cash. We say that every single video, we bang on about it, right? But Third Love is different because they have managed to raise capital on their own, a good amount of capital as well. Like, let's be honest, even when NAKD was currently raising like around $80 million worth of capital, and within the article which I just saw on Twitter that Justin Davis Rice just tweeted out, they said that they literally went from 80 million up to 550 million in a day. Now, Third Love have been able to raise 55 million in capital just on their own without us retail investors behind it, right? So that means that NAKD is currently in a better position than Third Love. So I think that NAKD could potentially acquire Third Love as like a potential subsidiary asset, which would be a fantastic merger, really. And as you can see, they're good employability rating, very credible stuff, I would say, especially for a brand that hasn't really been around for that long. I mean, you see the time since the last funding was 2 years ago. Like, it's not been, I mean, their first funding was initially in August 2013. And I reckon they were before this as well. And we have to remember, NAKD's been around for 70 odd years. They said that in the thing. It's a long investment. Like, NAKD's been around for time. So the fact that Third Love has managed to achieve as much as it has within such a short amount of time is a very, very good achievement for this company. And I think the Third Love could be a very, very nice buy if NAKD can negotiate well and get a good price, because they do sort of integrate within Justin's vision for the company. Well, we probably all knew this one was coming up. Shopify, the largest e-commerce platform like ever. Like, Shopify is where it's at. If you want to create a startup company, Shopify is definitely the place to go to for that. And now you're wondering, why could NAKD partner with such an established company like Shopify? Now, Shopify has been known to partner with subsidiaries which benefits their brand. Currently, Shopify only have 2 clothing companies underneath their banner, in a sense. So if NAKD were to partner up with Shopify, obviously it would be Shopify sort of buying NAKD in that case. But NAKD is hot property at the moment because they have shown they have that ability to raise a lot of cash. right? So that is a very, very good sign for one of these big companies to swoop in and actually buy NAKD, because they know that we're financially secure. They know that. So why don't they just pick us up, and then they can benefit from it too? So, Shopify is definitely one which could also benefit NAKD in a sense that it will be able to create its own e-commerce structure. It can use the lingerie line. They can actually make a proper website selling stuff worldwide, and it would be a great way to just really increase the brand portfolio and really integrate that positive structure and positive e-commerce platform within NAKD and its investors, really. Like, if we saw NAKD selling on a proper platform, it would give us a lot more hope as well. Like, just seeing the e-commerce route come into play a lot more. And I think it would put a lot of our minds in a much better state about this stock. Okay, so the next company which I'm going to be looking into is Natori Co Limited. Now, you may be wondering, what is Natori Co? I've never heard of it, and neither had I actually. This actually was found by someone within the Telegram, so thank you for whoever sent it. You know who you are, so thank you very, very much. But as you can see, Natori is another e-commerce centric brand, and they are actually based in Japan, which is very interesting. However, they do have very, very good shipping times to the US. Now, if I go down to the bottom here and go to shipping methods, you can see that there is a very, very quick shipping time, you see? So you can get a free standard delivery, 3 to 8 business days. That's solid. Obviously, it costs a lot more if you're shipping abroad. But, the fact that you can get free shipping for 3 to 8 business days makes me believe that certain orders may potentially, they may have a base within the US, although their obviously main headquarters would be based within Japan. You can see that they have warehouses in New Jersey, which is, a very positive thing to have, that sort of fast shipping time to wherever you're going. And I wouldn't be surprised they have, other warehouses elsewhere as they get more money as well, so they can get even faster shipping times. They may even set up a base in Europe, for example, so they can branch out into that market as well and get faster shipping times. That is something which Natori Co could do. Now, you're wondering, what is Natori Co? Sort of how they're doing financially. Now, as you can see here, I mean, their most recent cash year, I mean, it's not been amazing, but they are profitable, right? So they are a profitable company, but they aren't out of NAKD's reach by any means. NAKD could probably acquire this company, and the current trading price of this company is 1,927 yen when I checked it before. Yeah, so 1,927 yen, and I checked that, and that equates to $17 on the US stock market. And as we've seen, NAKD's fair valuation currently by Wall Street Zen is $57. Right, which is crazy to think, and the fact that it's currently trading at 0.63. Wall Street Zen know there's a ticking time bomb. They're fairly accurate with their predictions normally, and all it takes is one good PR, and a lot of events are going to happen in turn. But then that's not financial advice, though. I just want to make that clear. That's just all my opinion of what I think is going to happen. But obviously, do your own due diligence as well. So we're now going to get into the next one now. Okay, so the last company on the list is Fleur de Mal, and this is a very, very interesting brand. Now, this brand is not a highly well-known brand. I didn't know about it as well. It's very similar to the Japanese brand, which I talked about before. This is another brand that's very under the radar, but could be a very, very interesting one for NAKD to pick up. It is very e-commerce centric, like all of the other brands that I've shown so far, and it also this sort of brand would be actually a perfect acquisition for NAKD, and I'm going to tell you why. This brand is very, it's doing well. The annual revenue report for 2021 is 1.46 million. Now you may be wondering, what's so good about that? Why is that good? Because it is a low value, and it has a very large upside potential, and it's already unlocked that e-commerce avenue which NAKD is currently seeking to go down, and it could be a very, very cost-effective way of potentially developing their brand further down the line and getting it down that e-commerce route. This Fleur de Mal, with the backing of NAKD, it could be a very, very strong acquisition, and it could be one of those that we could see develop over time, and that would really be one of those NAKD long-term holds. That would be, in my opinion, I'd be actually quite happy with this acquisition if it happened. And it'll be, although I say that it's not, like, Fleur de Mal is not really in, I would say it's below NAKD's league currently of what they could buy. But as a whole, as a brand, as an image, Fleur de Mal, in my opinion, is in a very good spot. And as you can see, it also has celebrities behind it as well. It has Jennifer Zuccherini behind it, and it has Charles Baudelaire. I mean, to be honest, I don't really know much about these celebrities, but I know that they're celebrities in their own right. So, that's my opinion on the matter. And that was the last business that I wanted to bring up that NAKD could buy. There are a large list of companies that I haven't mentioned, and you know what? Let me bring some up, and I'll just fire names out there so you all can do your own research on them. So, Ann Summers, Blue Bella, Bombas, Borks Avenue, Bravissimo, Atalissima, Cloud, Bucciacchi, Magento, Calvin Klein, HCL, I did Cosbella, CUP, Etam Paris, Four Love and Lemons, Hanro, Happy Socks, Hugo Boss, Itasimi, Jockey, Journal, Maidenform, Marlies Decker, Natori, I did Natori already, Rigby and Pella, Spanx, Stance, Triumph, Versace, and Wolford Sharp, and Wonderbra. Those are all of the brands which we have sort of collectively come together. So for anyone who doesn't sort of understand what's going on, basically myself, Vind, and Anna currently have like a YouTube sort of just chat on the Telegram that we just sort of talk between. So that was the list that we all sort of came together to do research on. So massive shout out to them for helping me, bring facts about this video and, give me some information about these brands as well. I really appreciate it. And with that being said, everyone, I hope you've all enjoyed this video. If you have, please remember to hit that like button and subscribe if you're new. It really helps the channel out. And hopefully I'm back on schedule again. I mean, I shouldn't have too many, there shouldn't be too many things on in front of me now. So hopefully I'll get better quickly so I can start spam uploading again and getting the content which you all deserve. And, we should be supplying you as well. So thank you all so much for the support. And without further ado, take care, ladies and gentlemen. In a bit.